Maybe going off, but it's a bit faster. Anyway. Our last topic is about Tantra. We have included this because it's part of our life. We have physical bodies, we have projections or naturalizations of our energy body, and we play with them for our enjoyment, but also for sorry about that. So we are playing with them for our enjoyment, but also for our evolution. Because our evolution is very much connected to our physical body, and Tantra is one of the fastest paths. So there are many paths of evolution and spirituality, and many have been used by many of us. With Tantra, you can go the fastest because you go through accessing all the body points. And you're encompassing and integrating your spirit into your body with this practice. It is the fastest, but it's also the most dangerous, they say. So why would they say that? It is so because it involves a lot of commitment and diligence and focus, as opposed to what something is not only about pleasure and delightment. It is mostly about commitment and focus. And because what you focus on will grow in tantric lifestyle, we will grow the very things that are in our bodies and in our energy bodies. So therefore, before starting the tantric practice, it is necessary that we have cleaned and cleared our bodies before. And when I say our bodies, I mean physical, emotional, mental bodies, spiritual, all our bodies require a certain clearance, certain detox, a certain alignment. So that's why in Tantra, there's two branches or two ways. There's the white Tantra that involves the solo practice, and there's the red Tantra that involves the couple practice, the communion and union with another. So before going further, how many of you know about Tantra? Can you hands up? How many of you, could you tell me what Tantra is to you? What does it mean, or what does it involve? Anyone wants to tell?
Tantra is expansion and liberation.
Expansion and liberation, yes, but what is it actually? What does it imply? We could say expansion and liberation is mostly an end result, but what is Tantra? Yes, yes. Come on, Rishi, speak up. You tell us. Okay.
In a relationship, quite often in Western countries, this is more behavior when there is a couple meeting each other. This is really a consumption behavior. I have the impression when I'm looking to the people in my country and the Western countries, when they're having intercourse, the couple, this is more consumption. So I guess this is going up to the second chakra. But first, to be aligned with the emotional part and to have affection for the other person is moving up to the heart. But for me, Tantra is moving up to the spine, up to the spiritual part. And in the case of the man, this is also to make the separation between, I would say, leaving the liquids and also having an orgasm. And this orgasm is not local anymore; it's the whole body, and not only the physical body. It's bringing energy in all the different bodies. So it's really some kind of deep healing here.
Thank you so much for the accuracy of the answer. Okay, Rishi, what do you think? Finally, a good explanation.
Basically, I just wanted to talk on this topic to all the public, whosoever is following Tantra around the globe. The practices becomes tradition, and after a long time, traditions become cultures. And when we follow a long time culture, it becomes the part and parcel of our life. It has been misleaded, it has been mistaught, it has been a very, very big misconception about Tantra. If you really want to learn Tantra, go to the Tantra Sutras of Shiva. Lord Shiva, whatever he was telling to Parvati, has become the Tantra Sutras. Tantra means system. It may be an ecological system, it may be a cardiovascular system, it may be an outer system, it may be an inner system. In the same way, this Brahmanda is having a system, our body is also following the same system. To reach to the communion of this system to the universal system is the practices of Tantra. Whereas when we call a male and a female, every male has a female inside. And every male has a female inside, and every female has a male inside. That's why this marriage institution has been accepted throughout the globe. We are searching outer a female to get occupied our inner female, and a female searching a male outside to get occupied her own male inside. That's why to complete it, but it has never been completed by the outer side. What other Western people or what the other people are in the name of Tantra is doing, teaching sex, how to do sex. You know, when a positive energy meets the negative energy, that's called the complete circular. When a male meets a female, so it is not related to any kind of sexual activity. It is meeting your inside male or inside female. That's why the Lord Shiva and Parvati are one. Lord Shiva is not omnipotent; he is omnipresent. So the Parvati resides inside Lord Shiva. That's why Lord Shiva has been always focused half male and half female. We have to educate, we have to understand the real concept of Tantra. There are 100 chapters of Tantra. Out of that, 97 chapter is yoga, which has been, after the few time of Lord Shiva has said, has been brought to earth by Maharshi Gorakhnath. Then the other saints, then the Patanjali came in the modern world. So to unite your inner energy system with the whole energy system is the basic practices of Tantra. This is what I have been read, I have been known, I have been told, and I have been practicing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That has been the best explanation so far that I found in a workshop from these two gentlemen. I'm very happy that people have this knowledge, at least to this level, because, and especially thankful for both of them and for Rishi giving us this whole perspective of Tantra from the Hindu sutras, which is very, very important. Because Tantra has stemmed from here, has sprung from here, from India, and the knowledge of it has springed from here. And the first, I could say, Tantra education book that I set my hands on was Kama Sutra, which was a Hindu book. And this happened when I was very, very, I was quite a small child. But this book came to me in some way, and it was meant for me to look at it.
Kama Sutra has been written by Rishi Vatsyayan, and it has nothing to do with Tantra. He is in another age.
Yes.
Rishi Vatsyayan is in another age. He has written a Kama Sutra book.
Yes.
To materialize the relationship between male and female.
Yes.
Via sex, because that time kings used to use the females in a lot of way.
Yes.
So he has written, he was to make all the girls prepare to meet the king.
Yes.
So Kama Sutra has been.
Yes, thank you so much. And you know, along the way, it has become one of the books of reference in the Tantra world because it brings the divine union man and female into physical, and it explains some of the details that should be taken into consideration when practicing with an outer ego or a partner. In Tantra, the partner in Red Tantra, in the dual practice, is not called just partner, it's called an outer ego. Why is it so? And it's not referring to the ego that we all try to get rid of. It's referring to another you. So your partner, the one who you've chosen for your practice or for the marriage, in this case, is another you. What would that mean? Well, it basically means that, I'm going to take this off. It basically means that instead of looking at your partner and being upset for him doing this and that, and saying, oh, my wife is doing this, or my husband is doing this, and he's hurting me, and he's behaving in such and such way, and he's not offering me such and such things, and this and that. Knowing that the partner you have chosen is another you, what you could do is look back at yourself and ask yourself every time you have a couple issue, what am I emanating or holding or not allowing that this partner of mine, which is another aspect of me, is showing me? What aspect of me isn't being displayed or enhanced, or sometimes grotesquely represented by the partner so that you can see what you're holding in? So always you go back to yourself when issues appear or you want to resolve something in your partnership. Because the other one is another one like you, and you are one with them. Does this make sense? So in this perspective, then Tantra is the art of oneness, of being one. First within yourself, as Rishi said, male and female joined together in a state of completion, completeness, no need for an external resource or yin and yang balanced person. But then when you decide to expand that oneness into the dual practice, which is great because it feels good, because you have a body, and because it's not wrong as they taught us in all religion, but it's good and it's evolutionary and it's pleasure even. And pleasure is not bad, I want to say. I mean, it's not bad at all, because through pleasure you evolve into a higher state, into a higher frequency, and from that frequency you go into bliss if you go further. And you go into enlightenment if you go further. But that we're not partner is not an external persona or personality. It's not an individual that you are to look at and scold or try to change or try to blame. That is the anti-tantra, the exact opposite of tantra. That's taking you into separation and into the idea that you are somebody and this is some other body. Yes, the bodies are different, but the illusion of separation comes from you just looking at the difference instead of looking at the communion. So why have you chosen exactly this one? It's because this one is your master and is teaching you the best of you if you're open to learn. So I had partners blaming me for being this and that and for not offering this and that and for not opening my heart, but was their hearts open, or I was just showing what they are? It's very interesting to look at. And the women in the past even, because it's Women's Day today, I'm going to refer to that, were blamed, shamed, burned on stake, put to be stone-bitten and so on, for knowing this art of sacred loving and for mastering the talent of sacred magic, of Tantra magic, and for showing their power and living their pleasure. By what? By masculine energy. And even in this country, and even to this day, this is happening to some degree and to some extent. And this is why we're here on 8th of March, the Women's Day. But what it's showing us, this whole history of blaming, shaming, and discarding is men shutting down their own intuitive power, their own sacred sexuality, their own divine mothering within. Before even starting to put women on to the role, they were already doing that inside of themselves. The feminine energy, not inside, inwardly, not outwardly. How many of women here, including the Hindu women, have felt blamed, shamed, or put to silence for your power, in whichever way you showed your power? If I had 4 feet and 4 hands, I would lift them all. How many of you have known how to deal with it and not shutting down your power? So out of 4 women, nobody has known how to do it. I'm lifting just 1 hand out of 4. Because it's still a work in progress that I'm taking in, accepting, integrating, and displaying my power without fear of being in any way, shape, or form shut down, because there's a force behind me and inside me that's never gonna stop. That's never gonna put down. That's never be put into place. And that's never gonna be put into place in any way, shape, or form, in any timeline, on any space, time. Because it's running through all the bodies and through all natures and through all universes. And it's always gonna be like that. And it's called Shakti. And first and foremost, we bow to Shakti before any action or intention of manifestation into this world. The world is having trouble with manifesting now harmony and health and wealth even. We're living in the concept of scarcity. Why? Because we are, to this day, shutting down or discarding this energy, which is the energy of abundance, which is the energy of infinite power, and which is the energy of infinite wealth. If you want to be good at this, you should be good at bowing to Shakti first. It is the power that builds life and gives life and takes life even. And that's what you want to work with, and that is Tantra. And then bowing down to the yoni as well. We're going to go deeper into that. How many of you have had the concept or knowledge that the yoni is either dirty or menstruation is dirty or women are dirty in certain times? How many of you have been educated to not enter a church in certain times of your month as women? Or men to not be in contact with women in certain times? Come on, raise your hands up. We're speaking truth here. Are you not for the workshop of Tantra? Then take a walk. Because here we're talking truth, because this is what's happening in the world. And it's sad to watch, and it's not harmonious, and it's gonna stop, and it's starting to stop. Now women are rising to their knowledge and education. Men are becoming kinder and more in tune to their inner feminine. And things are starting to change. Men are starting to express their emotion without the fear of being shamed for being a sissy, for being weak, for being too feminine. They are starting to speak about their feelings without the fear of being out of place in a men's gathering. I've seen gatherings of men, wise men, connected men, speaking about their emotions and their challenges and their hurts and traumas, speaking to each other and speaking to me, because I organize men retreat where only men come and they are free to speak, because I'm not in that role, a man nor a woman. I'm just spirit. So they're not afraid to express in my presence, and in general, people are not afraid to express. So that I can facilitate this expression of the feminine through the masculine body and the healing of it. Because first we heal in the men, in the ones who are represented through a masculine body in this incarnation, and then it can easily heal in the ones who are having a feminine body, that they feel accepted, that they feel loved, that they feel free to express emotions and be emotional, and be chaotic, and be in their period, and have their PMS, and whatever craziness is happening in their body is accepted and loved. Because for women here on this planet, it's very difficult. We have come with a water system, 90% water, at the molecular level, I'm referring, not at the cellular level. 90% water on a body of, on a planet of water, on a blue planet. So imagine all this water element all over the place in your body and on the planet, enhancing which chakra is the correspondent of the water element? Sacral chakra. Which system is, which body system is connected to the sacral chakra? No, but what energy system, which of the bodies of energy is connected to the sacral chakra? The emotional body. The emotional body. So for us women, the ones who are in women body, we are on a planet of water, in a body of water, enhancing the emotional body. And we're supposed to repress all that? Could that be harmonious? We're supposed to act non-emotional. We're supposed to not show what we feel. We're supposed to hide and try to look tough and to look strong. But strength on this planet and in this type of body does not come from being tough, does not come from being hard. It comes from being even vulnerable in your emotional feelings. It comes from communicating what you feel, even if it's not what people expect. They expect you to be happy all the time, yet you're not. And clear communication is your right of expression into this world. Is your right to be exactly how you are. And when the men are giving themselves the right to be exactly how they are, and to cry, and to be hurt, and to be feeling weak in some moments or helpless, and to express that in words to their partners and to their bodies without to their male friends, without the fear of being ostracized from their group, it is then that the society is getting healed. It is then that women who are trying to compete with men and be the same, tough and strong, are feeling also feel free to express and to embody their emotions without the fear of being left, dumped, scolded, turn them back on, and so on. How many of you have repressed your emotions for fear that your partner is not going to accept you and it's going to leave you for one that is stronger, or calmer, or prettier, or nicer, or sweeter, or not bitchier? I've done that for quite a long time before I noticed that I was getting sick. My spleen and pancreas were seat of my feminine energy. Okay, all left side is the seat, but it's how to call it? It's materializing in that area especially. We're hurting constantly, all day, every day. What is happening? No scan would show any bad results, yet my pain was still there. Why? Because emotions weren't being expressed. because I was trying to be spiritual, as my partner was very advanced in spirituality. But yet you're not advanced enough in spirituality until you accept your inner femininity, your Shakti. And that's the biggest test of all the masters that I've known. Very advanced masters denying their Shakti almost completely because they've been coming from Tibetan traditions where emotions are just trash. If you have emotions, you've done nothing. You haven't done your meditation, you haven't done your practice, and you are being led by your emotions. And as you've seen with Gaston and some others have explained also, emotions are just another superpower that we have. Yet another resource, another source of energy. Okay, I'm feeling this. Oh wow, that's great. Check out, there's some energy here that I could integrate and accept and get fuel from. Whatever comes, anger or discontentment or frustration or fear, that's your fuel. Once you accept and integrate it, you are whole and you are more powerful. I was doing some work with Gaston the other day, not so long ago, about this tension that I was having about this festival. And I couldn't shake it off, whatever I did. And I said, Gaston, how do you, for God's sake, integrate emotions? Because I am not integrating this one at all. I feel worried. And once he explained and practiced with me, he asked at the end, how do you feel? Once I've integrated that emotion and let all that power in and that worry transformed into trust, I said, I feel like a baby who just got his diapers changed. That was the feeling. Like that night I slept like a baby with dry diapers for the first time in weeks or days. Because you know, when you're a baby and you have wet diapers, you're just not having comfort and it hurts because your skin is getting irritated. When they change your diaper and they put some pampering cream on, you're like, ah. That's what happened with me when I integrated my emotion. It was like, suddenly my irritation, my tension was gone. So it was very amused by this analogy. So that is Tantra, accepting yourself, accepting the other, accepting your inner Shakti, your inner power. And that power comes from the fact that you're 90% water, and your 90% or a lot of percentage of you is emotion, emotional body. And discarding that is shutting down the connection between your energy bodies, not allowing prana to come into your physical. It's the first body after the physical and is blocking your circuitry to be nourished. So you have to open it up, you have to clean it, you have to accept it. If you want to have this type of nourishment, of course. So that would be the first step in Tantra, to accept. The Tantra, or the White Tantra, the soul practice includes meditation, includes mantras, includes all forms of yoga, yes? Maya, Japa, Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, all forms of yoga are in the branch of the White Tantra and is the solo practice that develops and opens your channels to prepare you for the Red Tantra. So it cleans and it increases your energy. And once your energy is clean, you can start practicing with your partner, with a partner. I've taken quite a few years of brahmacharya in between relationships just to clean, because I saw that with a partner, whatever energy touched, it enhanced. So, and there were not nice things. So cleaning the system took me a while just to be able to start practicing again, because I wasn't able to deal with what was coming up. So when you start practicing and you're solo, you have a certain amount of energy. But when you are in duo practice, that energy is first duplified and then multiplied thousands of times plus, yes? Because there's two and they're multiplying inside and with each other. That's the power of Tantra. And energy is neutral. Whatever is multiplied is not good or bad. It just circulates through the chakras, it awakens the inner Shakti, the Kundalini. And whatever it encounters on the path, it enhances. It's not going to stop because you have anger. Oh, this one has anger. Let's stop before it. Let's stop in the other chakra and not go out. No, it goes through that anger and it takes it out. And when you're manifesting it, your partner is going to think you've gone crazy because they don't know where it comes from. You were nice and sweet the other day, and now you're like a white lion. And it doesn't seem to have something to do with him. So they think you've gone nuts, yes? Or frustration or trauma comes out because it was there. So after a practice, you start having fears, or you start having weird reactions or distrust towards your partner, and he or she suddenly don't know what got into you because you were normal the other day, and now you've been together, and now you're biting at him. Why? Because something is coming out of you. That's not about him. That's not about what he did or didn't do, or she did or didn't do. It's your stuff coming out because it's been touched by that energy that was going up and amplifying. So own it, accept it, shift it, integrate it. Do not blame your partner and make him aware to try to hang out with you. Stay by your side while you're in this process. And I used to say to my partner, I'm in the process of clearing something now. I might need some time for myself, or I might need you to be a bit more centered and not expect me to be okay. Because in this moment, I don't feel okay. And I might not be as nice as I was yesterday. Please bear with me. So communication is important. Please stay by my side, or if you can then take a walk. But I'm going to work with this stuff because I had it and now I want to clear it out. And wise men and wise women do not run away. And those of you, of them who are faint of heart, will run away. I want the normal one. What is this stuff? I want to go home. Okay. But all of us hold the same trauma. Guess what? Whoever you choose will just project out yourself. You're not going to find a better one because you're the better one when you're better. Check that out. So I'm going to say this again because I like it. So you're not going to find the better one because you're the better one when you're better. So first better yourself and then start looking for another partner, or just look and see if the one next to you is doing the same trouble. Probably is not. So I had the perfect relationship in which the perfect mirror was in front of me. And I was tending to change the outside mirror until I realized, check this out, whatever I change within myself, this one is no longer displaying. And it was with such perfect accuracy that it was like a Swiss clock. So it trained me so well into self-mastery that every shift that I wanted to happen or was seeing as being disharmonious, I wasn't going outside to shift inside of him, but going totally back into myself. And the next day, the first today, he could have been totally crazy and acting weird. And as I shifted, the next day he would have been the perfect man, the same person. And guess what? All partners are like that. Whoever you change him or her with, it's going to be the same. The moment you shift, they're going to shift. And it will be such a shift that you wouldn't believe it, even. You'll be looking at him and it's like, is he the same jerk I encountered yesterday, or the same person that hurt me? Because it seems like it's on a different bandwidth. Yes, because you're emanating that bandwidth. Mhm. And I was just talking to a friend the other day, before coming here, about this yin and yang balance, harmony. And we were saying that your partner, whoever, when you're completely aligned to source and your feminine and masculine are in balance, whoever you choose can represent your perfect Shakti or your perfect Shiva. If you're completely connected and that person is at least a big percentage open to divine, he's gonna manifest in the perfect way for you, whoever you choose. He was saying that in the same 3 months, 3 women he encountered, they were all three the perfect partners. Whoever of them, because they were not a personality, they were a representation of himself, of the balance that he was displaying. Not that he has been with all of them, but he has had the ability to see that each one could embody the Shakti in the perfect way for him in what he needed. What does this bring us to? If you cannot find any that embodies the perfect Shakti and you're having trouble with all your partners, whoever you meet, what does it mean? Or the perfect Shiva for the women, what does it mean? If you're having troubles with all the women you encounter to some degree, what does it mean? Come on, it's mathematical logic. It just means that going back to ourselves, the perfect Shakti or the perfect Shiva inside has to be balanced. If all of them are getting crazy at you, for apparently no reason, where's there to go? Nagging at them? Oh, you're crazy, you should be doing different, and you're acting like this and that. No. If all of them are like that, certainly it's you that has to change or integrate that energy, either masculine or feminine. And if you are not accepting the feminine energy fully, maybe the emotions or the control tendencies or the whatever craziness or chaos you think you find in women, that's what you're not accepting in you. Make sense? For the women and for the men, equally. And if you're not accepting the anger or the excessive order or tendency of overpowering, you're not accepting the inner masculine in you, for the women and for them. Because accepting these things, which are part of the masculine feminine game on this planet, is accepting yourself fully with whatever you came to bring and integrating that to such a level that then whoever will display that is okay with you. And also to such a level that people around you that are in contact with you and that are close to you, like partners, they wouldn't be able to display this harmony. It is no longer there to be manifested. Like lately, I had men around me that were behaving like kings. All of them. They weren't my partners. I'm not having a partner now, but all of them were like kings, like completely harmonious. Most of the time, unless I got back in this balance, but most of the time, completely kings. Why? Because it's time that we honor our kingdom inside, our queendom inside, the divinity in our humanity, and embody it perfectly for this new era of humanity. And that's Tantra. Any questions so far?
Yeah, actually, I have a question. A lot of people they would like to become funny people to be funny sex, but they don't work on this Tantra. I mean, by that, especially for the men, they be using a lot of energy. I read an article about that. It takes 3 months for the physical body to restore.
Yes, after an energy itself.
Yes.
Yes.
So energetically and physically, it's just amounts of energy that we are not.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So first step would be to learn about Tantra and then maybe to move into the say that in all the conferences I don't see a lot of people speaking about that. So there is still nowadays a lot of taboo.
Yes.
So my question is how can we just move beyond this taboo?
So is it the question about moving beyond the taboo, or is it the question about how to move the energy in the body not to expel it? Both, I think.
Yeah.
I feel the question is about both. Yeah.
Beyond the taboo, there is a discussion about that. But first of all, we can discuss about it.
Yes. Well, you've seen me in all festivals, including this subject. I feel it's the quintessence of human evolution. Knowing how to use your energy and not expel it as a woman or as a man is the quintessence of human evolution. Sexuality, I will tell the question. Sexuality as we've known it is the Neanderthal of relationships. I'm going to say this again because it's cool. Sexuality as we've known it, the thing we see on TV or in magazines, or it's even taught in certain workshops, is the Neanderthal, the dark age of relationships. Because it has taught all of us that in orgasmic state, for men and women both, energy has to go outside. In the men's case, it's even worse because it literally, there we go, we have free energy everywhere. It's turning into light as we speak. For men especially, it's even material energy in the form of liquid, in the form of nutrients, in the form of minerals, in the form of little compounds that are able to create a body, a life in another person. Imagine the power of that few milliliters that you are choosing to throw out for pleasure. It's an immense power. So Pascal here, who's also a pranic person, was asking, what about the not expelling the energy? He's saying that he takes 3 months for a normal man to recover after one orgasmic expel. And when I say expel, I refer to ejaculation, to be clear for everyone. Yes? So one of that is taking 3 months for the body to recover, to put back the nutrients, the minerals, the energy, and the compounds of the body that the body has to make to give that half a spoon or one half, whatever quantity is, of liquid. And in movies and in all the reality that we learn, it shows you that the more pleasure you have, the more it has to be, which is crazy. It's the opposite of human evolution. So men are even making contests of who's stronger at that. Imagine the stupidity of it. I would say the reverse is the more masculine you are, the rarer and even ever you do that, expelling your energy out. The less you do it, the more masculine you are. The less you do it, the more powerful you are. The less you do that, the more energy you have to hold presence for your woman, even. And that's masculinity. To hold presence for Shakti is the quintessence of masculinity, actually. To be energized enough, to be strong enough, and to be centered enough that whatever she wants to do, and whenever she wants and how long she wants, you are there, you are present, and you are full on, and you are lit, and you are not getting tired. Check that out. So that's masculinity, in truth. That's the power and the presence of a true man. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? So that's why I'm saying Tantra is not the faith of heart. is for the ones who are prepared to be training their minds first, the emotional system, and their bodies also, to be able to practice it. And practicing Tantra is being centered, is being clear in your mind, is being clear and accepting in your emotions and integrating yourself with whatever you are. And then it's being powerfully trained in holding your energy and channeling it up instead of expelling it out, however amounts of pleasure you are having. And the secret is that the more you circulate it up, the more pleasure you have. And the pleasure is no longer situated at one energy center, the one you're practicing with, this area, is starting to develop and expand and enhance in the whole body, and every cell of your body is having pleasure. If you were to choose between that and the normal way, the not normal, traditional, I would call it, that is practiced today, what would you choose? Oh no, I want just 1%, forget the 99%. Just let's throw it out the window. I am not choosing that. So for women it's the same, because we also have the choice to either expel the energy out and have that pulsation of energy out of our bodies, or breathing in deeply in the moment of the highest pleasure and taking it up to the crown and then down through the orbit, because there's an orbit within our bodies. And for the men, I'm saying the same. Breathe out, take it up to the crown, that energy, that power. We're gonna having a disco here. And then down through the microcosmic orbit to the frontal meridian into the base chakra again, to energize all these chakras with that orgasmic energy instead of sending it out in 2 seconds and you're done. What was that? Was that an orgasm? I don't know. What just happened? You know, and why are people so crazy even about this sexual practice and about sexuality in general? Because in the moment of your orgasm is the only moment for most of people that their mind is blank. And why is it cool that the mind is blank? Because it's the only moment that you're feeling the divine circulating in you. So for some people, the moment of the orgasmic state is the only and single moment of contact with divinity. Because it's the only and single moment when the mind is stopping.
Just a glimpse of bliss.
A glimpse of bliss. But for most, it's not even close to a glimpse. Not even close. It's just I'm done. What was that? Okay. So no glimpse even of bliss. Bliss is a state that is reached after a certain cultivation time, where you've learned yourself and you've learned your partner, and you know your buttons and you know their buttons, and you know how to start, how to stop, how to continue, and you go past the pleasure. That's when the next level comes of excitement, okay? And past that, it goes into bliss, and past that, it goes into ecstasy and liberation. So there's plenty of levels to this, and it requires practice and diligence and harmony in the couple, and not going from one to another, like there's Tinder now, and you click and you have a partner for the night. That's not revolution. That's again dark age. Where do we want to be? It's a choice. And being aware of that choice is either building our power or depleting our power. Building our pranic body or depleting our pranic body. Building the peace of mind or depleting the peace of mind. And for the men, especially if we want to be able to be doing that energy channeling, that energy circulation, through the body, that is very strictly connected to the clarity of the mind and the mindfulness. Because how you do it is you breathe up, you squeeze your PC muscles or the perineum muscle, but also you focus very clearly on your third eye while breathing. And that's something most men don't know. And while you focus on your third eye, you have to be trained that your third eye controls that energy. It's like you have a serpent and it's doing all this. But if you're focused and you catch his head and you hold it straight, that's when it's going to stand still. And it's going to go where you want it to go. But if you're not focused and if you're not quick enough, the serpent is going to bite you and it's going to run off and you're dead. And that's what Mantak Chia says when he talks about Tantra. And Mantak Chia is one of the best Tao Tantra masters in the world. He's in Thailand and is having words for the best Taoist masters and the best spiritual influential people for I don't know how many times. And he's practiced and teach for 40 years with over 6,000 teachers all over the world trained by him. This teacher is saying that when you start practicing this way and you catch the serpent and direct it where you want it to be, that's why Shiva was having a serpent the other day, by the way. When you catch the serpent and direct it where you want it to be, it's shutting the door to the gate of death and opening the door to the gate of life. Then and only then you are alive. And you can actually see your men and you men that after a practice you either sleep or are awake. And the difference between the two states is what you've done with your energy. Whether you've expelled it or cultivated it. When a man is cultivating his energy, he never sleeps after. Actually, you're gonna have to be trained because he never stops after it. That's important to know. Okay? So, is that a perspective that you could encompass, or is it a subject that is too taboo for this gathering? What do you think? Speaking for, is it taboo for you?
It's like I practice Buddhist Tantra.
Yeah.
So in that, there's no male or female. It's just like it's called 10-level Amitabha Buddha initiation.
Yeah, that's solo practice.
It's a solo practice.
It's a solo
I
practice.
just visualize Amitabha Buddha.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're talking about sex here. No, it's about sacred sexuality actually, but we want to be very specific that it involves a body and it involves a partner, and we're not running away from it into again visualizing Buddha somewhere. Buddha is not somewhere. Buddha is you, in you, as you, presented, and is your partner as your partner presented to you. That's where Buddha is. And the possibility of visualizing and seeing that is called transfiguration, when you look at your partner in this way and you see him as the divine. And he's going to be the divine for you in whichever form he is presenting, actually. Not in the form that you wish the divine would be. Not in the form that you want him to behave and to naturalize to you. That's again trying to control divinity. I want to believe in God, and I want to believe that you are God in shape, but I want you to do what I want. What do you think divinity is going to do? It's smack it back in your face. Because it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that at all. So yes, for the solo practice, it's very good to visualize a deity or a yantra or chant a mantra and this and that, but it's just not taking you the furthest because you're still denying one aspect. And I have masters around me who have practiced for lifetimes as very great Tibetan monks, very great Buddhas, very great to learn three things. And I'm sorry Sarah is not here. The game of money, the game of fame, and the game of power that also implies harmonious sexuality. Not playing with that energy or with that charisma in a way that is not beneficial. 3 initiations for the best and greatest masters. And Justin Hill said it, it's not that I made it up. The game of money, to be able to master the energy of money without denying it, but also without abusing it. The game of, so while accepting it, I mean, and not trying to dim or down each other just to accommodate your budget. The game of power, the game of fame, doing things because you can, not because you want admiration or attention. And the game of power is utilizing your energy harmoniously. And when you have energy and magnetizement and charisma, you do not use people for your benefit or pleasure. You know, the gurus or the shaktis that are having some adepts that are fainting around them and they come in, oh, I wish I had a touch of your beautiful body to enlighten me. That's giving yourself, that's giving away your power to somebody else. And if these guys or these girls are using that power in such a way, it's not going to be easy for them either. Yes, the people that are affected will be having some trouble for a while, some trauma. But the people who are affecting, so the masters themselves or the teachers themselves, it's going to be very difficult. Many incarnations to clear that out, actually. We are not allowed to go there. You're not allowed to do that. Even I have been tested many times. The more energy I build, the more charisma develops, the more people I can ring around, wanting to offer this and that, to suggest this and that, to bring things to my room. Maybe I forget to close the door. It's not going to work like this. Not that I'm selling Claire or anyone, yes, but I know how my power has to go and where it has to be. And if I choose to take someone as my partner, it's not even my choice. Divine chooses. I just honor it, actually. So it's only when I'm clearly guided that I'm getting into a dual practice with a partner. Otherwise, I'm well in the white Tantra, as you mentioned, with the solo practice, very well. I've been doing it for years. It's taking you very far, it's very good, but you do not deny the other aspect. You do not discard it. You do not consider it unsacred. Otherwise, a part of yourself is not whole, complete, and accepted. And Pascal was just telling the other day, yes, he had to take some time to be able to be centered with himself, but he only felt completed or harmonious when he also accepted the side of him that wanted to manifest as a partner and with a partner. And it was the same for me. Yes, I was by myself for a long time, and it was perfectly fine. It was actually very comfortable, and comfortable is the word, because you're doing what you want, when you want, and for as long as you want, and nobody to explain to or try to accommodate in your journeys. But when it was time for me to again take a partner into my life for a while or for a longer time, I bowed to that guidance, and yes, it offered me new perspectives of my development and new perspectives of the places where I wasn't developing even, where I thought I was fine and I wasn't. It showed me in my face what I had to work with straight away, because I've chosen evolution and quick assessment. Can somebody tell me time? I will be finishing around
12:40.
12:30?
40.
40. Oh, that's perfect. So any questions, any other questions? I'm not just be taking questions, and we're gonna then make a group photo at the pyramid and then in the pyramid for meditation. So no meditation here unless I'm guided to. That's what I'm thinking. So any other questions that you're having? So to refer back to his question, that was very important. Energy taboo is getting out of the taboo is accepting that we have a body and that we can work with it and through it. And each organ, either male or female organ of sexuality, has points of correspondence in all the nadis, all the chakras, and all the internal organs, which means that with a couple practice, you touch all your physical and energy system and you can heal it just by being in contact with a person. Having access to that and not denying it is the end of the taboo. And the end of the Neanderthal era or the dark age of humanity is instead of expelling the energy out, sending it out during the orgasmic state, is keeping focus, holding attention, even though for a while it's not going to create that much pleasure. Because for most people, pleasure and focus do not go well together. It's either you let go or you focus. You have to be able to focus while letting go and be in a relaxed state of focus so that you can circulate the energy and have an orgasm, but still be fully in your third eye, fully present, fully bringing that energy out and taking it where you want it to go. Otherwise, you're either choosing the door of life or the door of death, like Mandakya says. So both questions answers? Okay. Other question?
Modern science links this celibacy to prostate cancer. Is it true?
Yes, absolutely. Either you bring your energy up in your solo practice by yourself and you cultivate it so that the sperm doesn't stay because it's going to affect your prostate and of course you're going to get ill, or you do it with a partner but still by bringing energy up. Otherwise, energy blocked in the sexual centers affects the sexual organs, and prostate is one of the most important because it's the gland that has to deal with your hormonal balance. So yes, most people that are in celibacy, either men or women, not just men, have had and are having health issues in that area of all kinds. Once, because the energy is not circulated. Twice, because they are denying and blocking a certain part of themselves, which naturally is affecting a certain part of their bodies. And that never or rarely been discussed in spiritual practices. And actually, I'm coming from a Tantra workshop in Thailand. It was called the Meeting of the Masters, where we had the best of the globe coming together. Tantra teachers, Tantra practitioners, and the two teachers that led were Mantak Chia, who for me is the best, and Charles Muir, another one who I think even one of the coolest schools of Tantra in the US. I haven't seen another school that I could follow or pay attention to. So for 2 weeks we were there discussing various topics. I've been able to notice that I was very well at stopping at certain points to not divulge everything because humanity is really not ready to find out about sexuality yet. Sacred sexuality. I mean, not that not ready, but certain topics and certain things displayed publicly are just shocking to people. And I have seen strange reactions. But to get back to your question, there's actually a practice for men. You're going to be surprised and shocked, but I'm going to tell you this, and that's it. You do what you want with it. But there's a practice for men to massage the prostate, to be able to bring it back to health. Because otherwise, it's not going to function correctly. And it can be done by your partner or by a specialist who's trained into that. But otherwise, there is a problem, yes. And even for the men that are sexually active and they are depleting their energy, yes, prostate has to suffer. It's true. So your organs are reacting to whatever you're doing. Absolutely. Other questions? Yes?
Suppose if a person feels alienated all the time, he doesn't have any kind of sexual arousal at all.
Absolutely.
At any age.
Yes.
Then for them, how it is?
Absolutely.
Is the energy naturally circulated or?
In most of the cases, no. most of the cases, the person is just disconnected from certain parts of their body, certain chakras, and they cannot. When I work a lot with people, I'm going to answer from personal experience. When I'm in this state working with people, I barely feel my feet, not to mention other parts. So I'm totally focused. That energy, yes, it gets circulated and it gets utilized for healing, for shifting the energies, for emanating out, and so on and so forth. But also, I can tell you truly that I'm not fully aware of all my body unless I focus on it. So I train myself to focus on my body, to focus on my feet, to focus on my perineum. Because the more you work or do spiritual work with lifting your energy up, the less you get disconnected from your lower parts, including those parts. So you're not feeling exactly, like you said, nothing. Yes, either the energy is not circulated or, and most probably, for most people, certain parts of the body are not receiving energy, and still there's an imbalance. Yes. So it takes training to get back into your body fully and be there with your body. And for the women, I'm going to specifically refer to practices because we're not talking just theory. We want to give you, if you're interested, of course, hands up if you're interested in practice. Solo practice. If so, there are specific techniques to be able to circulate or heal the energy. For the women, is working with a jade, is a specific egg-shaped crystal that you can work with in your yoni, and with meditation, you move it, and you actually get an energy healing by using it. Or you can utilize even a wand that are found in the shops. Yes, they are normally used for pleasure or for play, but you can use it as healing tool for practice, daily or periodically. And for men, is first massaging your wand and consciously bringing energy, not for arousal. So we're not talking about arousal here and with self-pleasuring. We're talking about really bringing and healing energy into your body. So one massage and circulating the energy and pulling your wand. So Mantak Chia has very cool videos in which he shows how to pull your wand or your lingam in various directions to activate the base of your spine and to allow your energy to circulate. Because those organs are not only for sex, they are for energy circulation. So you can build the energy there and then circulate it through your body. But when it gets stagnant, it blocks and it's not going up. So you have to work with the specific organs that are holding that energy. Like if I want to work with the pineal, I focus on this area, yeah? I don't focus on my feet. Same with the base chakra. If I want to heal that area and harmonize it, I focus on that place. I don't deny it, and denying it and not looking at it and not touching it and not paying attention at all comes from a very ancient tradition of shaming, blaming, and considering it dirty. That's making us avoiding that in our spiritual practice. So if you're touching or looking at or working with it, you're no longer spiritual. That's what they say. Or you're no longer clean or pure, which is false, of course. Because God did not drop a hole or a lingam in the middle of your body by mistake. Like, oops, I did that. What are we going to do with it? Oh, let them be at peace. No, it's not for that only. It's a source of power. But you have to work with it and heal it. And another and ultimate thing, one of the most healing things for men has been for them to learn to touch themselves without having judgment and without having fear and without having a need or necessity for just self-pleasuring. to touch themselves with adoration. The biggest traumas in men that I've seen healed was just by men learning how to touch themselves and work with their organs, with the soul's only purpose of working with energy and not to get it done, to get it out, to feel a relief, or with fear of being blamed. The moment men learn how to touch and love that part of their bodies with love, so not with a purpose, just for the sake of love, it was one of the most healing moments in life of many men that I know. And by being in these workshops, I've been able to have stories of friends because we're really very open and we talk to each other because it's not a taboo. It's the same way we talk about food, the same way we talk about clothing, the same way we talk about how we did our hair. We can talk about what happened to our organs, and if you have a liver problem, you're not going to hesitate to talk to somebody. Or if your eye hurts, or if you've had a really nice experience with your heart. But if you have to talk about other parts, you avoid why. That's not Tantra. Tantra is the same awareness and balance that you have about your elbow to also have about your sex organs. The same. And I'm going to tell you a joke to complete with it. Not a joke, but a nice story. I was recently in a Tantra workshop that I was holding in Romania, and I was talking about the same thing, changing our sexual organs. And one of our participants, who was also a good friend, and was offering her space for the workshop, tells me the story of how her son and daughter were talking to each other, little children like this. And the son had a problem with his lingam, and he had to have some treatment done every night by his mother with some cream or something. Something happened, okay? And his mother was treating him, and his sister came to look. And the boy says, I want you to pay attention a bit to this. The boy said, I'm going to let you look at this if you let me look how you brush your teeth. So, the purity of it, can you notice that? For them, the teeth and the penis were the same, no difference. Can you imagine, can you encompass? The same. I'm going to let you look at it if you let me look how you brush your teeth. That's the purity of Tantra. That's the ultimate. We are born with that, and we forget it after a while, and we start to think in different ways about our bodies, and that's blocking our energies, and is blocking our practice, and we're having a weird perspective about what this is. Yeah, so hopefully you're going to brush your teeth better from now on. So I guess we're coming to an end. Anyway, there's several workshops on my YouTube, and I also do one-on-one sessions, no hands-on, just working with energy and on long distance, even by phone. We teach people how to raise their energy and talk about their problems on sexuality. And I do one-on-one sessions on other problems like career, financial, couple, and spiritual issues as well. And it can be done online or on Skype or on WhatsApp, and it doesn't require my physical presence to be in a healing or be in an orgasm even. That's of course a joke, but it happened to some. So yeah, so I guess that's completing our gathering for this season. I believe it's already 12:30 or 1? 1, no?
1.
1?
12:56.
Oh, perfect. We're having time perfection here. So I hope you've enjoyed the festival. I wish everyone was here. I hope this has been useful for you. I hope this has been beneficial for you. I hope the energy we built here is gonna follow you through time and help you stay on your path and develop your path. That was our intention. I hope you have the best results with your practice, whichever that is. I hope you are blessed from my heart of hearts in all your endeavors. I hope those of you who feel called to come to us with us to El-Sharas are going to come today or tomorrow. I'm still seeing 2 of you who are meant to be there and aren't yet decided. And that's it for today. The last thing we do, if you agree, we go to the pyramid, in front of the pyramid for a group photo, and then we complete with a pyramid meditation. So that's going to be the end for today and for this month in India. Yeah? And those of you who want to still be with us, come further, either today or tomorrow to El-Sharas, book a flight, let us know. We're going to tell you how to sign in and you can be with us. I will just complete with the same song that I started with, and wishing you the best of the best of the best on your path. And remember that we believe only in love. So I'll just complete with that. And try to get back into your hearts and encompass that. Can you put the sound a little higher? Those of you who know how to do it. This is the first button at the top, the speaker. So we send our love again to this whole area and to all the people that have helped us and to all the staff in this community and to all the people who have been with us live or online and to the land and to the waters and to the air in this area and in this country. I believe in love. Into the ether that is forming everything and holding everything together. Into the trees and the flowers and birds and the beasts that have been with us. Of his work and to each other for having supported each other through this gathering. Thanks so much for the juice. And to Nadim for being with us for all this time. And to Chandu. And we live forever in this infinite universe. There's nothing to stop love. The love is the only thing that matters. From the beginning of time to the end of time is the only thing that ever is on your cells, nourishing your body, fueling your brain, opening your eyes in the morning. There's nothing but love. And everything can be dissolved to the madness, safe will remain. Forever in the infinite universe. Forever some guru, into some partner, into some saint you're worshipping, into some deity you're bowing to. Love is you. That you're nothing but love, and everything you've told to yourself so far is untrue, because only love is you. Above this gathering, see what it has to offer for you. Imagine the grid above us, the feature, the weaving of love that we've created above this gathering. See it and feel it, connect to it, tune into it. Work with it. Let it flow into you like the rain that has flown every night upon you out of the tent of this gathering. Allow it to flow through all your systems from this portal above our gathering. Connect to it. Visualize it in the pyramid when you go to meditate later. See it surrounding this place with love, with infinite energy, infinite power, as love is the only thing that is. Okay, see you at the pyramid for the final photo and then up for the final meditation. You can stay there for as long as you want. I'll be leading with 4 of us, 5 of us who are going further. I bless you from my heart of hearts. Everything is on